I have some more persons joining. All right. So when carbon dioxide is released from cars and from large factories, right? Large factories. See what I can find my pen. No, it's not here.
Yeah.
When carbon dioxide is released into the atmosphere, right?
Yep.
These are the gases going up into the atmosphere, right? And it is being blocked. It they cause they add up.
Yep.
Wait, let me see if I can add this person here, right? When carbon dioxide is released, they accumulate into the atmosphere, and then the place becomes
So
hot.
where must put this lavender again?
The place becomes hot, and that leads to climate change. That leads to climate change. So the reason why we were able to
Sir,
find that,
I think remember. Sir,
right?
This one?
excuse me, sir.
You remember now?
Yes, I think remember now. The
Okay,
greenhouse gases
right.
rise up
They
and then
accumulate here,
it traps in
right? Trap
it
the heat,
traps in the sunlight and it
right?
bounce on and off of our earth make it place.
And the place becomes hot. So the reason why we found that out was not hearing anything.
Michael, turn off your mic.
So the reason why um um 1 second, let me check the chat. Okay, all right. So the reason why this happens, the reason why the reason how we're the way we're all, able to find that out was because the data scientists. Data scientists study what happens to the carbon dioxide and how it reacts in the atmosphere. All right, so let's just move on quickly for the rest of the time. So other careers include earthquake unit engineer. So these were the persons we were talking about based on the different magnitude of the earthquake, right? So we have magnitude 1, magnitude 2, and so forth going down, right? So we can get this information from the earthquake unit engineer. All right, let me check the chat. Okay, it's logging. All right, I will release the recording on Google Classroom. So let me just type that quickly. The recording, the recording for the class will be on Google Classroom. So you may go back and check it again, and it will essentially be on YouTube, but the link will be posted on Google Classroom and also in the group. Right? All right, let's move on quickly. See if we can try and cover this. So astronomer, who's an astronomer? I message in the chat, or you can turn on your mic. Who's an astronomer?
Someone who travels space.
Right, travel to space, and they study what happens in space. They study the different planets, right? They study planets such as Mars and so forth. They study the moon. They study our moon and so forth. So they get information from these places, and that's how we were able to know that there are other planets out in space through the astronomers, right? All right, the next one is a physics teacher, such as myself, right? We know what a physics teacher does. A professor know. Um, anyone know what a professor is? Who a professor is?
Somebody who lectures.
Right. Wow. Good answer. Very good answer. So somebody who lectures at university, right? And they also study projects for for um for um for for for, for different reasons. You have different professors studying climate change, professors studying alternative energy. Anybody ever hear about alternative energy?
No, sir.
All right, we'll talk about that. All right. All right, so we have electrical engineer. So this person essentially, um, knows about the various things in electrical in the field of electricity, right? So they can come up with various new projects, new technologies, right? They study the movement of atoms, electricity, um, current, and so forth, and they can come up with new technologies, right? Aerospace engineer, this person essentially studies and they come up with they study equipment and they come up with ideas for equipment to be able to fly, right? These equipment are built specifically. You realize that an airplane is built differently from a car, right? An airplane more looks like this, right? While a car, right? An airplane looks more like this, while a car mostly has like a box shape, right? Mostly like a box shape, right? So these are things, and the wings also. The wings of an airplane are developed by aerospace engineers. Aerospace engineers are the ones who actually go ahead and develop these the wings for airplanes for it to be able to fly. All right, lab technician. You will meet your lab technician if you're doing any science subjects, right? But that person sets up your lab. He ensures that you complete your lab with everything safely, right? There's no problem with your lab. Ensure that everything is set up for you. And a mechanical engineer. Anybody ever hear about a mechanical engineer?
Yes,
No.
sir.
No. Yes. All right. You know what he does? Where she or she would do? Yeah, example. Examples. For example, building a big building.
Mechanical.
Yeah, mechanical engineer, right? Sorry about that. Mechanical engineer. All right. There's a little problem here. All right. Mechanical engineers studies bridges, right? How is it that a big truck can drive over a bridge? Why doesn't it break? Right? Why doesn't it vibrate? Right? These are because mechanical engineers study bridges and how bridges can withstand. How can a big skyscraper stay up in the air? Stay still, right? How can it stay still and not tumble and fall down and breeze blow it? Right? These are some questions you should ask, right? All right, let's move on. All right, so we are essentially finished for the class, but we can just read through this. For the person who has on the mic, all right. We're essentially finished for the class, but we can read through this, right? Um, for next class, we'll go over it again. But we went through. Let's just go back for a second. So we went through defining physics. We went through identifying at least 10 branches of physics. All right, let's see a chat here. Okay, okay, thank you, Michaela. And we went through listing at least 10 careers in physics, right? So next class, we will try and cover the importance of physics and two important pioneers in physics that led to the development, right, in the science, in this beautiful science field. All right, I see another chat. Okay. Um, I'm sure I don't have Mr. Goldgod in my class, so I'm going to kindly ask him to change his name, right? Um, Mr. Goga, I'm not ban you from my class. Okay, though I'm not going to allow you to come into my class with that name again. Thank you, Mr. Francis. This is a professional environment, and I want to keep it as professional as possible. All right, Mr. Francis, nice meeting you. This is physics class. Okay, thank you. All right. Some more persons are coming in late when we're closing. Okay. All right, we just read through the importance of physics. So physics is one of the fundamental elements to other critical fields, right? Such as chemistry, engineering, biology, and even computer science. So we spoke about how physics played a role in the study of an atom, right? And we drew the atom. We look, when you begin to the chemistry, you will see more of the atom, right? But the atom essentially looks like this, and it was a physicist who actually came up with the idea of studying the atom. And we talked about engineering, biology, computer science. So an engineer, so this is important, right? An engineer is basically a physicist that put theories into practice. So remember that we spoke about the mechanical engineer. So the theories that he uses, they are actually theories in physics that he's currently practicing. All right, so there are many concepts in chemistry that you need physics to understand, right? You have concepts such as power, right? Gas law and chemical bond. How does chemical bond? How does two atoms come together? Right? We need physics. No, you are not required to take notes. I will be sending this after the class. We're not wasting any time in you writing notes. Right? All right. And the last
Physics is like an everyday thing.
Yes,
Not here.
it's everywhere. As I said, the movement in cars, how do cars drive, right? These are two different physics theories, movement, right, and so forth. So many equipment in other science areas, such as medicine, depend on physicists to study the interaction with the body. For example, with the body, right? No, you will not be required to do the homework today. Not today, right? So just spend the time and just read through this again. And we will meet again for our next class. I believe it's either tomorrow or Thursday. Right? So it is now 2 o'clock in the 4 class. We have some persons joining in at 2 o'clock, right? But enjoy the rest of it. Enjoy the rest of the day. Confidence, and we will meet again. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Idiot.
He's a good bird.